Back with another episode of Against the Grain. It's your host, Big Zaddy Kona. We got B and Dave from Fresno. So the question is here, guys, is this Niners Super Bowl window closing due to the fact that Deebo Samuel has been dealt to the Commanders? Yes or no? So if you're listening to this and you're watching our video, thank you. Hit the like and subscribe and leave a comment down below so you can definitely let us know what you think. If the Niners are still going to suck, or they could put, they're going to excel from this, getting their 5th-round pick, whatever concession stand pick that they got from the Commanders. All right, so what do you guys? Now that we got that out the way, what do you guys think? Do you think your
I would
Niners
have
are
to.
over?
Do I think they're over? Well, no, I don't think they're over. But I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna shit on Debo's entire career as a Niner. He had a special 2021 where he was over 1,000 yards receiving, over 600 yards rushing. Like when he was at his peak, he kind of set the tone for us. But I'll say like the last 2 seasons, he's had some issues with his weight. We've all seen the belly, is his conditioning. And I think we've kind of tried to force feed him to the detriment of some of the other guys. So the answer to that would be like, no, the Niners Super Bowl window isn't open, but they are going to have to find somebody to take those touches, somebody that's good enough to have the type of impact that Debo Samuel did.
For,
And he's the type
force
of player who's more impact than just his numbers.
force feed them, no pun intended, or what?
Yes, that's a good one.
Right. Hey man, so let me
You
ask
just,
you a question, B.
go
To
ahead.
touch on what you responded there with, which is a great situation, right? You brought up something that was everybody talks about with him. He had one magical season where he went over 1,000 yards. 1,400 yards to be exact, right? Outside of that, that's the only season he's actually touched 1,000 or over 1,000, which was in 2021. 2024, 670. 2023, 892. All right. And it goes so on. In 2020, 300. So, I mean, have the Niners really lost much? I'll let Dave take
No,
it away,
like
or you
that's
guys
what I'm
take it
saying.
away.
That's what I'm saying. Like the window hasn't closed. Like your best ability is being available, and like some of that drop off is like he doesn't play full seasons anymore. You can almost count on it. It's like the sky is blue. Debo Samuel gonna miss 3 to 4 games a year because of injuries. It's like clockwork. And you add in the fact he's been struggling with his conditioning the past couple of years. I think it's at the point of addition by subtraction. Because now that he's there, Kyle won't feel the need to say, okay, like I have to dial up this Debo play, even though every time we hand it to him, he's getting 1 yard to carry. Like it
Yikes.
opens the offense up for somebody else to step in and do something. Like this team just needed to get younger and more explosive.
Yeah, those are great points by Mr. Foley. I echo everything he says, but the question is the window closed? I think like when you ask that question in the NFL, it's different than the NBA. Like in the NBA, you get that question, oh, is the window closed on the Warriors or a certain group of core guys for the team. I think in the NFL, like your window as a team, I think it kind of ties to the quarterback. I think when you have a quarterback, that's your window. Like the Ravens, their quarterback to win is when Lamar, in his prime or while you have him. Same with the Bills. Their windows while they have Josh Allen. Um, with the Chiefs, their windows when they got Mahomes. So when you have that quarterback that you think you can win a Super Bowl with, that should be a window. So because you lost a receiver, that doesn't really, make or break, or shouldn't make or break your team. And Debo, as B said, is, you know, he hasn't really been producing like that one magical year that he helped get us to the Super Bowl. So I mean, I think they can replace him, but like he also said, is it could be addition by subtraction because I know we had a lot of injuries last year, but I felt they were kind of, force feeding him. And we have younger players that we got to get a better look at. So, you know,
He was force
I
feeding him,
mean,
all right.
yeah. Well, yeah, I wish him the best of luck, man. He seems happy now. It looks like both parties wanted a fresh start. So we'll have to see what this team has going forward. IU, he's questionable with his injury. Uh, that he suffered last year, and they drafted Ricky, who everybody got shot, but he came on towards the end. And they still have Jennings, they still have Kittle. So yeah, then they're trying to connect the dots with Devante because he's from the Bay Area. So that might be somebody they look to replace Deebo or uh but again, the window it wasn't really tied to Deebo like that.
Okay, well, outside of Debo Samuels, right? They got Ayuk, Juan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, like you said, Pearsall, whatever his name is. All right, that's your new number one, number two, and number three.
For now.
You didn't even name Jacob Cowan, who's very
He's,
explosive and he's a pick.
he might pop up on the number 4 or 5, which is great and all, but I'm looking at your top tier, right? That's your 1, 2, 3. Outside of having a great tight end, and your biggest explosive asset to your wide receiver core. I don't think that's not a minor thing to lose. Granted, he has been battling weight, but he is the best asset when it comes to wide receiver core, throwing it through the air. We've seen a lot of drop passes through Ricky Pearsall, Juan Jennings. I mean, Ayuk is, man, he is off and on. He's
I've got to push back on you on that one though, about the best wide receiver through the year. Like they're handing the ball to him so much because he can't. Like it was obvious in the Super Bowl, and it became more obvious. He can't beat man coverage. He doesn't run routes
well, the
very
Niners
well. So
Niners
like,
wide receivers are always big. Why are they so big all the time? No homo.
uh,
They're just
uh,
like always very solid and like big dudes. Like I don't know why they just come here to the Bay Area and just get muscular. Like all of a sudden, like bigger than most wide receivers I've seen on other teams.
well, they go after a type. Kyle, he likes receivers that block down the field. He likes bigger, physical guys. And I think you look at some of the more explosive offenses in the league. They have guys that can separate one on one, that can play on the sidelines, that can go over the middle, that are versatile. I think for the Niners, like they have to find a guy who can line up in front of a DB and just beat him. Like right now, like that guy, I don't know that he's on the roster. And I think that's what made it easier to get rid of Debo. Like when you start seeing them have to run all these jet sweeps and lining them up in the backfield, they're just trying to get him 10 touches. Because like to your point, like he was electric with the ball in his hands, but it started becoming increasingly more difficult to get the ball in his hands as teams started to figure out he couldn't beat man coverage.
Yeah, he definitely, I mean, has had trouble lately, right? I mean, you're outside of him, man. To be honest, your best asset is a white boy. you know, you guys got CMC, is the best thing on that team. Literally. You know, what I mean, Dave gonna hate because
Hmm.
he got a
Why is
B
Dave
Rabbit
gonna
out
hate?
there because you got a
What is
white boy
he?
out there, a white boy doing his work.
Mm.
Who ain't from
Well,
Wisconsin? Look at
yeah. Come on, bro. What are you talking about, man? Hey, he was hurt last year. We don't know what version of CMC we're gonna get this year. I mean,
that. Yeah,
when he's right, yeah, he's good, but he almost 30, so I can't really expect him to be that MVP form that he was in
yeah, right, man.
2023.
Are we age shaming? He could still do it. I got faith.
It happens, bro. At running back, look, remember Steven Jackson, or not Steven? Oh yeah, he hit the wall. Todd Gurley, one year the MVP, and then it just happens. Ezekiel Elliott, like it's unexplainable with these running backs. So it can happen anytime, bro. I hope not for our sake, but it's just the Niners. The three people they cashed out for last off season all got hurt. And they don't got nothing to show for it. And Trent Williams, Ayuk, and CMC. So
Well, I mean, here's the thing: Super Bowl window closed or not? I
to
don't want to hear
answer
all
the
the
question,
excuses.
to answer the question, it's not close. It's not close. They can, but they do have a big off season. This is a big off season with the draft and free agency and even scheme wise, and there's a lot of things they got to tighten up if they want to compete. Because I mean, we were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, so we're not that far off. But if they just want to run it back like they did this season and just expect people to come back from injury and not improve the team, not bring in difference makers, then yeah, it's close. But hopefully this last season humbled some people and they're like, nah, we ain't going out like that. We gotta make some drastic changes. So if they willing to do that, then no, it's not close. But I gotta see.
Now,
We still
well, the
got the off
Niners,
season.
the Niners have made some moves. Like as far, I'll give credit where credit's due. Grabbing CMC was a big old thing for me.
Whoa,
Like
stop right
that,
there.
that
Stop
that
right
that
there.
they went after him.
No. Hold on, Wisconsin. Let me tell you what really happened. The man went to he went to Palo Alto, he went to Stanford for college. His dad played for the 49ers. All right. The writing was on the wall. It was when he was available, he said, I want to go to the Niners. So if you want to give credit for putting your name at the top of the test, then fine. There you go. They are able to write their name on top of the test. Bravo. Bravo. You got
So,
the
so
kid
what
to
you're
come
saying
home.
is, so what you're saying is, like somebody like Devante Adams, who just was released or is said to be released by the Jets, right? Because they lost Aaron Rodgers, and I mean, well, they're losing Aaron Rodgers, and if they haven't already let him go, and they're gonna lose Devante Adams because that scenario didn't play out as well as the Jets thought. Um, you said there's some rumors that you expect Adams to go because he played out here, so he should be wanting to go to the Niners.
He grew up in the EPA Palo Alto area. He went to Fresno State. I mean, he said he wants to play on the West Coast. I mean, it's
Man, he already tried that.
no, he
The
didn't. He
best of
played
the
in
best that
Las.
he got was playing for the Raiders.
They was in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh well, I'm just telling
It,
you what he's. I'm not even saying I want him. I'm just saying that's what the reports
no,
are.
man, you want him, bro. You guys like the ex Green Bay Packers.
Nah, I'll take Miles Garrett. That's what I want.
You know, the last ex Green Bay Packer y'all sent us, he quit football.
Hmm.
That was a great pickup, you guys. I actually thought you guys did amazing hitting on that one. Campbell was just a great guy. He's still a great guy. Probably the one of the
Definitely, I
best.
kind of, but yeah, no, kind of
Another
back
top
on
five pick.
topic to Dave's point. The NFL, it's like a year to year basis. The window could open and close like that. But the Niners, I think this just signals the start of a new era for them and possibly a different way of thinking. Dave said, last year they brought back the same team. No, they've been bringing back the same team since 2019, 2020. They've paid everybody, and that it hasn't worked out for them because everybody they've paid, minus one or two people, they haven't lived up to what they've been paid, and guys have just gotten older, a little longer in the tooth, and now like here you are. It's like they can't make that mistake of just running it back anymore, of just bringing the whole gang back. They got to reinvent the wheel. And I think trading Debo, even though it's for no value at all, you could have released him. I think it just signals that they're willing to reinvent the wheel and have it look a little different, like newer, fresher,
So
more explosive.
what I'm hearing from the both of you is that it's over. It's pretty much over. You guys are needing to revent the wheel in a short period of time. There's no way they're going to the Super Bowl this next year. Is that what I'm
No,
hearing?
it's not. That's not what we're saying. You need
That's
to
definitely what you said.
no. If you listen, bro, this is a big off season, and
Oh,
holla
I don't want to. Everybody has a big offseason. It's a big offseason for everybody. Why is it
Not,
just for
not for
the
the
Niners?
Packers because they're going to finish third in the division
Well,
again.
we
And
don't suck as bad as the Niners do, and we don't have a Deebo Samuels to cry about. We have a bunch of young wide receivers who are just gonna run out there and they're playing for contracts, so it don't matter. So I mean,
y'all
win
got
or lose,
y'all,
I
y'all
could lose
got y'all
all.
got y'all got in-house problems. Ain't what's his name? The cornerback.
Jair,
Jair. He might be out. So
He's replaceable. I mean, it's Jair is a great player. He's phenomenal. One of my favorite corners. Uh, Not to mention, on the team who has ever played for the Packers in the corner position. But at the same time, like, no one man's bigger than the team. And he's done a lot of crying. He wants to be the superstar, which is fine. I like having, that superstar mentality, but you can't, not everybody's going to do it. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to prevail or be the best at that position, to make that call. He's not Aaron Rodgers who was able to sit up there for 20 years and make shots, call shots. He was injured but good portion last year, so it didn't in games that we
well,
needed him the most.
Nelson, you asking the question if the window's closed. I'm saying it is a big off season because if it's say in
You're
two
giving me a
weeks they
runaround. You're saying
no listen
you're not saying the
listen
answer. You're saying,
listen
well, it's
Linda, listen. If we
Linda.
trade for Miles
Whoa.
Garrett, if we trade for Miles Garrett in 2 weeks
Oh my
and then
god, that's a what if.
but
That's a
that
what if.
changes.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
not
I don't want to hear that. It's a what if. There's no guarantee you're going to get Miles Garrett, let alone another wide receiver to replace uh what's his name. But so like it's a yes or no. Do you think they're going to be ass or they're going to win?
I plead the fifth.
No, you can't do that. That's not the rule of the game. That isn't how
and
it
that's
works.
not the question either. Would they win, and is the window closed? Those are two different questions.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Well,
will they
is the
win? There's
window
no
closed?
guarantee.
There's a window open and the window closed. Is it closed or is it open?
The window's open. The window's open. Now, how
Open
far
for
they
opportunity.
go? Yeah, how far they go, like I said, depends on this offseason, bro. What's so hard to comprehend about that?
No, that doesn't. I mean, you could give me variables like, yes, the window's open for opportunities because we still have a great team. We still have some players intact. We still have some blah, blah, blah. There's intangibles. Not it's open because we could trade for, I don't know, anybody at this point.
So let
Like
me
that
ask you. Let
doesn't,
me
that,
ask you this question.
I
Let me
could say
ask
the
you.
same thing about any team.
So let me ask you this question: Are the Packers? Is there a window
Why
open?
gotta go back to the Packers?
I'm just asking because that's your team. That's who you're familiar with. Is there a window open?
Their window's open because they're a contender
Okay, so are the
Contender to do
Niners.
what?
to be in the playoffs. So anytime you're a playoff team, you're going to be a contender, correct?
No, incorrect.
That's
Like,
why.
as 7 teams make the playoffs in every conference.
And yes, you're given a chance, right? You're not a bottom feeder team or below 500 team where you can't make that call.
So, and Nelson, let me ask you this: if y'all traded, say, for Tyreek, say you got Tyreek on
This is
draft
again
night,
what ifs.
but I'm asking you, it's okay. It's not without realm of possibility. If y'all get Tyreek, does your chances go up, or are you still a contender, or what? How would you feel
It
about
makes
your
our
chances?
chances better, but it doesn't. It excels it, yes, but my window's already open, like for success. Right, there is not closed. Like I'm not in rebuild mode.
Exactly. Your window is open, but you're not one of the favorites. You're not one of the five best teams in football. Like
Well,
you're not a
I mean, you don't have to be the best 5 teams, but at least if you're in the top 10, you're still qualified, right?
no, you no. Like usually, like if you're not a
How is
top
that?
five
No.
team, unless like you going on a run, like go look at it every year. Usually, you don't see. It's rare since they've gone to the 17 format. You don't see the 7th seed going to the Super Bowl and winning it. Usually, like they're food in the wild card round, and there's a reason for that because they're not as good as the other teams. And that
Well,
was kind
there's
of the
been tons
situation
of
you
wild
guys were
card
having.
teams
Like
that have won it.
you guys are kind of in a worse situation because you guys were a slightly above average team, but you weren't a great team. So like you make the playoffs, you got one extra game, you get beat, you don't have a high draft pick, and you kind of just middle of the road. That's not being a contender, but your window is open in the sense where like if you make one move, now that might catapult you into that top five. But as
No,
currently
but see, here's the
constructed,
thing. Here's the thing is that prior to this last year, so our window was not open. We were in rebuild mode by natural causes of losing certain people, and for the simple fact that they decided that they're in rebuild mode after losing Rodgers, after all the stuff. We were all good, settled to know that we were going to pretty be ass for a couple of years, let it work out having our backup quarterback. But he came out and stunned. He put on a show face, made playoffs back to back. He did that, and then created bigger monsters on the field by connecting these catches, making these plays, making these nobodies something. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
That's
go
the
ahead.
difference. But now, but don't reverse this, because Brock Purdy has done absolutely none of that. Who the hell did he create? Not a damn person. Ayuk was there, and what's his name was there, but like so you can't say that. So he's not a factor. If that was the case, you guys wouldn't have spent your money on going to get CMC. It wouldn't have been
well,
necessary if you
the
had a
two
great
aren't
quarterback.
mutually exclusive. You got to remember, Jimmy G was the quarterback when they went and got CMC for one. So we gonna talk about it. We got to become correct with it.
Okay, I'll take a step back on that one. You're right, but
But
he's
yeah, no,
still.
like you're preaching to the choir about Brock Purdy. By the way, you're
Yeah.
not gonna get too much argument over here. Like we all know what he is. Like you put some talent around him, you could win some ball games, but he's not gonna be ever be the reason you win.
See,
We
well,
all
see,
know that.
that's the thing. So going after, just indulging in the fact that somebody like Adams would come to the Niners, it's like, okay, still, but you still have Brock Purdy. And that's the issue here. The quarterback situation has always been the issue in San Francisco or Santa Clara.
Yeah.
It has been. It's not the same until you guys fix that. I think there's not much to say as far as other ways. So do I feel like the Niners windows is open and closed? I feel like I'm gonna always think it's closed until further notice, until they replace that quarterback situation. They're a great team. They show that they could be a great defense, but they haven't made it. It just hasn't taken them that much further. But you guys are both gonna say it's open.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
open.
All right. I mean, I guess you have to say, right? It's your team. So you know what I mean. I hear you on that, right?
I'm not exactly saying they're gonna play for the Super Bowl in their own stadium next year either.
No, no. I want to. You know what? When we fast forward to when we're gonna, when the playoffs come, we're gonna look back at this one. We're gonna bring this back up, right? I heard you guys both say that they're going to the playoffs. That they're gonna win. They're gonna celebrate. They're gonna hold trophies high. Shirts made of them. You guys said all of it. Dave said they're gonna trade for every single player in the NFL. I got
Next
this.
topic, man. Next topic.
I got this.
You didn't want Skip Bayless now. You just talking.
All right. Well, that was a wrap on that one. I think we settled the whether or not, if you decide you think the Niners have a great chance. If you think they do not have a chance, go ahead and drop a comment. Hit the like button, subscribe again. And we are
And for
out.
more crazy, cracky tales from Nelson, hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, hit that. Yeah, we got this.